go to letter N. Proposed rule to strengthen and modernize financial institutions' AML CFT programs. Okay, now that's that acronym that's out there, AML CFT. And you might be saying, hey, Kevin, are we done with BSA? Well, BSA isn't going away. But what they are doing is they're transitioning into AML CFT. And so that's going to be the new acronym that you need to be aware of and maybe start sprinkling into your program here and there. But here's the thing. First off, this is going to be an update to our current regulations. It's going to do a number of things. It's going to explicitly require that our programs be effective, risk-based, and reasonably designed. Here's the thing. We're going to get into more detail on what exactly this rule is going to mean for your program when we get into that special topics section. But you just need to know that, high level, there are changes coming. Now, you may have read through this and, on first blush, you thought, well, we're already doing a lot of this stuff. We already have effective, risk-based, reasonably designed programs. And that may be true. And so there may be some changes that are just merely cosmetic. But you really do want to think through some of these things, especially as you approach, as we get to the point where we're going to be implementing some of these changes. Now, there's first off, there's going to be specific changes. You're going to have a risk assessment. If you remember, if you've ever attended some of my trainings before, I used to say, oh, there's no regulation that specifically says you have to have a risk assessment, but you have to have a risk assessment to do this right. Well, those days are gone. When this rule comes through, you must have a risk assessment because your program has to be risk-based. And oh, by the way, you are going to have to include specific things in your risk assessment. The AML CFT priorities that are published by the federal government on an ongoing basis, generally every 4 years. But it's going to be a list of priorities that you have to address in your risk assessment. So right now, I think the list is corruption, cybercrime, terrorism, domestic and international, fraud, transnational criminal organizations, drug traffickers, human trafficking, human smuggling, and anti-proliferation. So all of these things you need to incorporate into your risk assessment. Now, maybe you already work because these concepts came out a little while ago, and we've been wrestling with them as an industry for a little while. So maybe it's already part of your program, but if it's not, this is one of the things that this proposed rule is going to bring to the fold.